Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again, and welcome to The Roads with Belle. Today, we're going to answer some questions from Patreon. There's a lot, so this is going to be done in sections. I did have to take a lot of notes because there was a lot of questions. So I'm going to be looking up and down quite a bit. I hope you don't mind. But it's a lot of information. And we're going to do a little introduction and tell you a little bit about what's going on here. And a quick note, we are going to change the 11:45 slot to maybe 8 or 9. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to roll out. It could be as soon as today, but I just want to give you a heads up on that. When was the first time you realized you would end up talking on camera? What was that process like? When Beau said he was ready to step back, we were on the porch talking, and it was decided at that point that I had I was the closest to like a Beau vibe. So that decision was made, and then it literally was 8 hours to my next video, to my first video. And I did that video, and that helped because it showed Beau this could be done. We could do this because, it was hard. It was a hard decision for him to make. And it allowed him to make his video that followed up, explaining everything. And we've just been going from there. It went super fast. It was really fast. So I'm not really sure there was a process. It just plan to action and roll. So I'm wondering how Belle is liking her new job on the channel. Again, you guys have been so accepting and just so much positive feedback, and I really appreciate it. Y'all have been welcoming. I've gotten great tips, and I'm feeling like I'm meeting the standard, but the standard is the starting point. So there's a lot I have to do and things that I'm working on, but y'all have made it so easy that I'm really enjoying it, and I'm just trying to get better. I'm curious about your time in the Air Force. Were you a pilot? What did you do while in the service? Mostly medical, but I did other stuff too. And I'm going to leave it at that. A girl's got to have a few secrets. What is a DD-214? A civilian here. It's kind of like your college transcripts, but from the military. It basically lists everything about you in a small briefing. And that's the paperwork you get when you leave. And it tells you your discharge status. My reoccurring question has been, is now, and will continue to be, is there going to be a gardening episode? Well, once we get settled in, we'll see what we can do. There's got to be some footage. At least I would assume there's enough footage. Beau has actually been working on it for about 3 years. So we'll see what we can do about that. I would not anticipate anything until after the election. I'm so curious if you had ever imagined following in Beau's footsteps. I would always joke about starting a channel, like maybe one with the horses or something. But I did not anticipate being the face of this channel. That was not on my bingo card. And I mean, I'm having a great time. I love doing it, but no, I never thought I'd be the face of this channel. What's been the hardest part of your new job at the 5th column? Trying to maintain consistency with Beau and slide my own personality in at the same time. It's a challenge. And I talk really fast. I could never speak as slow as Beau does. And I'm trying. I'm just trying to slow down to present the information because I'm really used to speaking like 90 to nothing. It's just how I speak. So that's the hardest part. I'm sorry. My question is, now that the Supreme Court ruled that presidents can be kings or queens, nice, how could Trump be charged with 91 felonies? Could that change? It'll change some things, but in looking for a silver lining, hopefully we will get to hear the arguments over what's official acts and not official acts. It's going to change things. What are the planned focus areas going forward? Politics, tech, and emergency prep seem to be the big ones and could be more than enough. Well, on the main channel, we're going to try to keep it the way it is. A lot of variety of news that people could actually do something about. And on the second channel, we're hoping to introduce those programs and more. But we don't want to disclose them before we're ready to roll them out. I don't really have a question, but could Belle discuss what she was seeing in Beau before he finally realized he needed to step away? What were the signs? It might be helpful for people that have workaholics in their lives, or might be one themselves and don't realize it. As much as he joked about work-life balance, he realized he didn't have any. When we would talk about our day and what we plan on doing, his plan was always, well, I have to work. And he started losing joy in the things that he used to enjoy. He just wasn't into them, and he was always thinking about work. And those things just hit him. Are you going to incorporate your past experience from being a nurse and in the military like Beau did? Yes, definitely. As I become more comfortable, you'll hear more about me in the videos. Are you planning to do any skits like Beau did, like the upside down patch? That I'm not sure about. It's too early to make that decision. We'll see as I grow and how comfortable I get, and we'll just have to see. I'm not confident that I could pull that off yet. What event before age 18 had a positive or negative impact on you and your quest as an adult today? Joining the military. I signed up at 17, and it has shaped so much in my life and the decisions I made and the paths that I've walked. So definitely that. What about this channel made you nervous? And if you're comfortable going into it, are you still nervous or less so now? Being on camera it's not something that I'm used to, and I know I talk fast, like really fast. So when I'm nervous, it's probably worse. But that's definitely something that's made me nervous. It is getting better again with all the support. It gets a little better every day. And then, what are you most excited about with this change? That so far it's going pretty well, and that we're keeping the community going, and that everybody has been so supportive. It's exciting to pick up the ball and run with it, and that even if I trip, I'm okay. You guys have just really, the support, it's amazing. It really is. My question lies in education, and I thought you guys were working on something bigger in that area. I'm always saying the dumbing down of America is upon us, and educating the masses about how our government works from local to federal is something we desperately need more of at every level. Knowledge can eventually weed out the outliers. A more informed voter makes this country better in the long run. School curriculums need to change. I could say the same about finances, but that's another issue. That gets into planned projects for the roads. We aren't ready to fully disclose those yet, but yeah, we have ideas for a very educational, like civic series and other series. So yeah, we're working on that. Belle mentioned possibly reposting previous videos or something like that. I don't know if it's possible, but would you consider posting an older video, possibly with a short new intro added, daily or weekly? I'm thinking that these would be videos that are particularly relevant right now. Maybe some that cover issues Beau handled about an old indictment and that is now back in the news, or an older labor issue video that gives great context or background that helps us understand a current strike. I just feel like so many videos from the past are super timely info we might need to see right now going into the election. I know we're putting together an Essential Beau playlist that will have the best explainers and our core videos compiled. So I'm not sure about releasing older videos. We haven't really thought about all that. But maybe we'll share those off the playlist and on the little community tab. But definitely something we can work on. Question for Belle. What are you reading right now? The Courage to be Disliked. It's a philosophy book. It's philosophy. Are there still plans to do more regarding community networking? I thought it was mentioned at some point, maybe a take the show on the road type of deal, but I might be misremembering. You're not misremembering. That was initially the plan for the Roads channel, was to literally take it on the roads. But the pandemic happened and kind of nixed all the plans. And now he, of course, isn't making any plans for that. So I'm really not sure about this one. I'm currently in the Panhandle for military training, and I like to get my brother presents when I go TDY. What's the most Florida gift I can get him for $75 or less? Go to Alvin's Islands or any of the surf shops around. There's usually some outside the gate. They're kind of tourist shops, and they have everything Florida you could dream of. So that's what I'd recommend. Question for Belle. You would surprise Beau with a new horse. What are you worried Beau is going to bring home and find as a hobby now that you're the face of the channel? Next spring, I'll be expecting a forest of fruit trees. But I actually see him finishing a lot of projects that he hasn't had time to finish. But if he does surprise me, it's welcome. Whatever makes him happy. Are you actually surprised that Beau stole your Halloween decorations? No, I'm not surprised that he had them. I'm just surprised he didn't put them where they go, and that there was so much stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And there are some things that I didn't know he had. So, but it's all right. What's your favorite horse or farm story? Beau found the neighbor's horse once when it wandered into the yard, and just assuming that it was one that I brought home, he's like, one of your horses is out. And it wasn't even my horse. So that was funny, but I did take him home. He lives across the street. But he did think I snuck another horse in. Sixth column, when, but in all seriousness, favorite Star Trek character. So Beau's told me that I have to watch the franchise, and I haven't. But from what I've seen, I like this woman. She has these lines across her nose and like a really cool earring. I like her. She's boss. Like, she's boss. Belle, what do you like to read? And did Beau finish reading his novel? I like fiction in general, and I read a lot of Bernard Cromwell's, so that kind of stuff. He has not finished his novel yet, so he's still taking his time with it. Can Belle introduce the rest of the team? We heard from Dana today. Who are the others who make up the rest of the team? I'm going to let them introduce themselves as they feel comfortable, but there are definitely more people that you'll meet soon. Who's your favorite horsey, or what's your favorite horsey story? Jackie. Jackie is hands down my favorite horse. I probably shouldn't have a favorite, but I do. It's Jackie. Will you let us know about your horses and how they came to be with you? This would be a really long answer, so I'll try to briefly summarize it. I got Jackie because somebody was getting rid of her and I was looking for a horse. She was my first horse. And then Pirate came with her because they had trauma bonded during Michael and they were very close together. And when I took Jackie, Pirate, she didn't thrive. She didn't do very well at all. So I took Pirate as well to keep them together. There, of course, is internet famous Marilyn. Now, her original owner had passed away, and the person that got her was going to need to do a lot more training and just wasn't up for Marilyn. And I was worried she was going to get sold because of her bloodline and just be used to breed. And nobody wanted that. So that's how I ended up with Marilyn. And then Mr. President I got because his family, the people that he was with before, had a lot of horses. And they needed to start getting rid of some of them because of the cost. So he was a wonderful addition of just a laid-back dude who likes to trail ride, loves attention, and he's like a dog in a horse body, literally. I mean, he will follow you anywhere. So he's wonderful. A lot of you might remember Charlotte, and that was the surprise horse I snuck in. The place where she was at, the other horses were picking on her. They were very mean because she was just docile, and they could, I guess. So she came to stay with me, and then I ultimately rehomed her to a very loving family, and she is just living her best life. So that's a little bit about them. I'm sure you'll hear more, but I'm trying to get through all these, so I could go on about them forever. Question: as the team continues to do volunteer and support work for communities, could you add a dedicated camera person to watch and record them from the shadows? What each one does, so we can have an update without having to ask each member to make a commentary video. Just some pictures or short clips would be amazing. Maybe I've suggested that in the past, but really when we're doing something, it's all hands on deck. So I love the idea of getting candid shots and making them into like a slideshow or something. But we'll have to see. I don't know if I can make that happen, but it's a really great idea. Is the material written by a group of persons or a single person? Well, the phrasing is me, but the fact-checking and edits are by others. It goes through at least 2 other people, and anybody can suggest a topic, so it really is a group effort. Are there any directions you want to move the show in while you're behind the wheel that might not have had a chance to go before? I think I'd like to add more information about people making the news. You know how Beau would do a deep dive into the backgrounds of different foreign policy appointees? I think I'd like to do that, but with other government people. I'm not sure. And to submit a question, what, if anything, is Beau most looking forward to now that you're away from the camera, meaning Beau? That's easy. He wants to spend time with the family and do the things around here he hasn't been able to do. Do you have any plans for taking that further? I know you've done a lot of work with individuals in smaller community groups. Have you ever thought of expanding into working with something bigger? I think you could do a lot of good in a political position of power. Any idea of running for Congress is, if that's on the table. We talked about it a while back about establishing a nonprofit to fund mutual aid projects that run short of funding, but it hasn't come to pass yet. The channel occupies a lot of time, so that's definitely something we'd like to look forward to in the future. How will you take care of yourself so you don't burn out like Bo did? The reduction in video output and the division of the labor, so far it seems to be working. So we're going to keep with that and then adjust accordingly. I'm thankful Bashir is my governor. Do you think he'll run for McConnell's seat in 2 years? I think it's definitely possible. I don't think he's going to stop at governor. I know Bo's favorite horse is Maryland. Belle, who is your favorite horse? Jackie. Again, she's as solid as a horse can be. She could be unridden for a year out in the pasture just doing horsey stuff, and I can come jump on her bareback, and she's awesome. She'll just right in the flow, like she's never missed a beat. She's amazing. I have similar workaholic issues to Bo, but toss in a side of disability, so overworking myself is not hard. What's something I can do for my wife to show her how much I appreciate her when she picks up the pieces after I break myself? Or something that makes you immensely happy when Bo does it for you? That's a long answer. There's the whole love language thing that you could get into. But acknowledgement, recognition, and appreciation, it goes the furthest. Sometimes just the mere thank you or the appreciation, it matters the most. How big is your shirt collection? Do you have plans on growing it? I already ordered more flannels. Still haven't found the best yet, but I'll keep you posted. But definitely growing. Definitely having to grow the flannel collection. Belle, are you considering an informal horse rescue? And how many do you have now? We kind of had the informal rescue, and we have 4. But I'm probably not getting any more at this time. You have to watch them when they first arrive. They have to adjust. And I can't pick that up too. So I'm sticking with the ones I got. I guess that looks like all for this installment. If we didn't get to your question, more will be coming soon. So there you go. A little more information, a little more context, and having the right information will make all the difference. Y'all have a good day.